She looked at me with tired eyes that I didn't recognize. "I need a break," she said softly, her voice trembling with a sincerity I wanted to believe. "I need to figure myself out." No contact. I nodded, swallowing hard. Every fiber of me wanted to argue, to beg her to stay, to promise that we could work through anything. But I had learned over the years that love isn't about holding on too tight. It's about knowing when to let someone breathe, even when it hurts. So I let her go. I spent the next days in silence, emptying our shared space of the tangible pieces of her life. Her clothes, her books, her little trinkets that had quietly punctuated our daily routines. I carefully packed them, labeled the boxes, and shipped them to her parents' address. Every item felt like a shard of memory, every memory a stab to the chest. I told myself it was respect. I told myself it was love. I told myself I was doing the right thing. For a while, I didn't check social media. I avoided it like a wound that hadn't yet scabbed. I needed to honor her request. No contact, she had said, and I meant to respect it. Then came the notifications. A ping I tried to ignore, a tag in a family vacation album. My stomach sank as I opened it. There she was, laughing, radiant. On a beach I didn't know she was visiting, or her arm around a man I didn't know. The caption made my chest tighten. Making memories of the love of my life, 2 hearts, #family vacation, #forever us. I stared at the screen, frozen, the world tilting around me. My mind raced, a whirlwind of denial, anger, and heartbreak. How could she ask for space to figure herself out, and then step into someone else's arms so openly, so quickly? I reread the messages, replayed the conversations, searching for signs I had missed. Had I been blind all along? Had the laughter, the shared mornings, the whispered, "I love you," been lies? I couldn't bring myself to call her, to confront her. The betrayal was sharper because it wasn't hidden. She wasn't sneaking or whispering. She had replaced our life with his and invited the world to witness it. I felt like an outsider in my own story. The days that followed were a haze. I wandered through our empty apartment, running my hands over surfaces she once touched, imagining the warmth that had been there, now gone. Every item I had packed for shipment felt heavier in my hands. Reminders not just of her absence, but of the life that had been quietly stolen from me. I reached out to friends, seeking solace in voices that could offer only partial comfort. They said I deserved better, that her actions spoke louder than her words ever could. But no amount of reassurance could erase the sting of watching her happiness. Her new happiness, spread across a screen meant to be mine to share. I confronted her once, the words caught in my throat, my voice barely a whisper over the phone. "Why?" I asked. "Why tell me you need space if you were already leaving with him?" There was silence at first, then a soft, almost casual reply. "I needed to figure myself out." And I did. The simplicity of her words, the ease of her confession, left me hollow. My anger surged and ebbed, replaced by a deep, aching sadness. The person I had loved, the life I had imagined, had dissolved quietly while I followed her instructions to the letter. I had respected her journey, and in return, I had been erased from it. Weeks later, I walked past the photos on social media again, not out of curiosity, but out of necessity, an attempt to reconcile the reality with the person I thought I knew. I saw the moments she was living, the smiles, the laughter, the intimacy. I saw a life that could no longer include me. And slowly, I realized that my grief wasn't just for her. It was for the illusion of us, for the trust one had placed in her hands, for the love that had been quietly betrayed. I began the slow process of reclaiming myself. I filled the apartment with my own energy again, unpacking memories that were mine alone, creating new routines, new spaces where her shadow no longer loomed. I cried often, sometimes in private, sometimes in long walks through empty streets where the night air held me gently. I let the heartbreak settle in, letting it teach me, letting it shape me. What she did was not just infidelity. It was a quiet replacement of a shared life with secrecy and lies wrapped in civility. And yet, in that pain, I found clarity. I understood the value of honesty, the fragility of trust, the necessity of boundaries. I understood that love, even when given fully, sometimes isn't enough to stop someone from leaving. Months passed. The ache dulled but never fully disappeared. Every once in a while, I would see another tag, another post, another reminder of the life I had lost. But with it came a sense of resolve, a quiet pride in how I had handled it, how I had respected her wishes even as she disregarded mine. I had given her freedom, and in the process, I discovered the strength to reclaim my own life. The boxes of her belongings had been delivered, the apartment was mine again, and the memories remained, but they no longer dictated my steps. I moved forward slowly, carefully, carrying both the lessons and the scars. And in the quiet, I realized that sometimes the greatest act of love is letting go, not to return, but to grow. She had chosen her path, and I had chosen mine.